What's going on, guys? Hope y'all are having a great day out there today. So today we are doing a little bit of shop work, a few upgrades, and a few things to a couple different cars here. Now, as you can see, we got the Arrma Big Rock and the X-Maxx here. Went down to my local hobby shop down here to play things, etc. here in Butler. Also, guys, if you guys are ever looking for any parts, cars, and stuff, if you guys either local or I want to get something shipped in, great hobby store, very helpful, guys. Anyway, went down there today to grab a few parts. As you guys seen in one of the last videos, the X-Maxx blew a front wheel bearing. The inner race came out of it. So he ordered me in a set of the Fast Eddie bearing kits. Great bearings. Had really good luck with these things. So got a set of bearings for the X-Maxx here. I'm going to just change out all of the wheel bearings, all the hub bearings. Now the rears, I already have the RPM heavy duty bearing kit on the inner races, but I'm going to change out the outers and the inners and the outers on the front and the rears, and hopefully these ones hold up a little bit better. Also, I bent one of the front shocks on the Big Rock on the last run out. The shaft bent pretty bad on it. It's sticking. So while I was down there, I picked up a set of these Hot Racing big bore shocks. They didn't have the ones for the rears. The rears are 115 millimeter, and they're kind of weird because I don't know if they're not in stock or they're not available at the moment, but there is no 115s in the Hot Racings. There's 110 and 120. So anyway, I'm just going with the fronts at the moment because that's what's broken. I'm going to test these things out, then I get these on the Big Rock and see how I like those. Also, guys, picked up another pinion gear for the Typhon 6S. I don't know, and probably a lot of you right now are watching this saying, no, that's not going to fit. But honestly, I don't know, and I'm going to change it out and see if it works. But I picked up a 26-tooth spur or pinion gear for the Typhon 6S. I'm going to see if this fits in there. If it doesn't, then I'm going to have to go into changing the spur and doing some things differently. But anyway, guys, that's what we're going to work on here. Enough yakking. Let's get wrenching. All right, guys. Well, I'm not going to bore you with everything here with the shocks, but I'm going to go ahead and get the front shocks removed off of the Big Rock here so we can get the new ones fitted up. I'm going to put in, I think, probably some 60 weight, maybe even 70 in the front of these. I'll see how they feel, but I'm going to kind of test one out and see how I like it with the 60, and I give that a try. But I'm going to go ahead and get the shocks removed off of this thing, and I'll bring you guys back when we're getting the Hot Racing ones together. Also, guys, isn't it just so much fun whenever screws come out like this? I'd say she's a little bit bent. What do you guys think? But I don't know how well that will show up there, but shock shaft is a little bit bent. Yeah, I'd say she took a little bit of a hard hit. Also, guys, this is what I've been changing out, especially the lower screws to. The regular cap style. And these are usually about, I don't know, I've been going either between 20 and 22 millimeter length screws in the bottoms. They hold in there better. There's a little bit more to grab, and I've had less problems with them falling out with these longer screws in the bottoms. So it's not a bad thing to do to lower shocks on these cars, especially if you're using the RPMs, the A-arms on those, because the plastic's softer and it gives you a little bit more bite. In the bag with the Hot Racing shocks, they do give you an extra set of O-rings by the looks of it. And the full screw kit, they do give you the screws for the top and the bottom of the screws. I won't be using these, however, but they do look longer than the stock ones. And also all your spacers for the top shock eyelets. And these do have a little bleeder in the top, which is kind of nice. So look like some pretty nice shocks. Hopefully they hold up decent. All right, I got this one filled up with oil and popped the bleeder out. Feels really nice and smooth with it in there, so I am just going to go with the 60 weight in this thing, I think. Feels pretty decent, so we'll see how she holds up, but so far, shocks feel pretty nice. Alright, guys, well, we got them all fitted up on there. Wasn't going to bore you with mounting shocks up. I'm sure everybody knows how to mount a shock, but I just want to show you they feel really good. Suspension feels great. This is with the 60 weight in here, so if I need to stiffen it up a little bit more, I could do so, but I did turn the springs down about a quarter inch, just make the spring a little bit stiffer, a little more rebound on there, but everything fit up great, and as you can see, the ride height stayed the same. Everything looks pretty good, so hopefully these things hold up. I guess we'll find out over time, but at least they're not bent and sticking anymore, so they look good. They seem to feel pretty good, so I'd say that's a win for the Big Rock. We got the new tires on this thing. We're running this thing with the BLX 120 ESC in here. And I've had a lot of questions and people ask me about that. I am running the stock Stihl Spectra motor in this thing, the 3S motor that came with it. I'm just running the BLX 120 ESC in here. So far, the motor's been running really cool and haven't any problems with it, so I'm going to continue to do so until the motor burns up, and then we'll upgrade maybe the whole system in this thing. But enough of that. Let's get working on the X-Maxx now and getting new bearings in that thing. All right, guys. Well, we've got the front passenger wheel tear torn off the X-Maxx here. Like I said, I do have, it's the complete bearing kit from Fast Eddie's for the X-Maxx here. We're just going to be changing out all the wheel bearings on it today because everything else doesn't have that much run time on it. So we're going to go ahead and get this dismantled, and I'll bring you guys back when getting new bearings in there. Also, guys, I wanted to add something about these RPM A-arms because this is the current setup now. The front and the rears and everything all has these RPM locking hinge pins on them. However, this is one kind of weird thing you have to do when installing them, is you have to slightly countersink this one into the A-arm where the drill bit. Just very lightly go in just a tiny bit in order to get the head of this screw, because you can see down here how far that sticks out. If you do it up here on this screw, the steering arm comes and hits it if you do not do that. So you have to countersink those a tiny bit in order to make this all work. Hopefully these RPM A-arms continue to hold up and don't have a lot of problems with things after all the goofing around I've had to do to make them work. Alright guys, well, we got the whole front hub assembly off of the front of the X-Maxx. We're going to go ahead and be careful removing these little clips, obviously. But pull the clip off, pull the plastic wheel hex off, and then it all should slide right out of there. And as you can see, I actually lost another one of these races out of the inside of this bearing. So they're all kind of coming apart. You can see down in there, but you can actually see the bearings down there now because these are blowing out of it. But I'm going to go ahead and pop the bearings in and out of here, pop the bearings out of here, match something up. I'll bring you guys back in a second. Alright, well, I got them matched up to the old set here, the broken one, so I'm going to go ahead and pop these back into here. Whoop, wrong side. Pop these into there. Really hoping these new ones hold up a little bit better. Hopefully these Fast Eddie ones hold up better in here. I guess there's only one way to find out. But I can go ahead and get that in there. Slide the axle back in there. Everything feels nice and tight, snug, spinning nice and smooth. So you can go ahead and pop the hex back in there. And this is always the fun part, is not having this clip go flying. Gotta be careful putting these back on there again. But snaps back on there, so go ahead and ready. Get her installed back on there again. One down, 3 more to go. Alright, well, 1 down, 3 more to go. I'll probably just bring you guys back when I'm working on one of the back wheels real quick. Just show you the different bearings that I put in the hubs on the rear. But yeah, I'm not going to go through all the wheels on these things, obviously, because that's just kind of boring. But I'll bring you guys back in a second. Alright guys, well, we're getting the back wheel torn off here. And I figured I'd show you real quick. On the back, I put on the RPM rear hub carriers and then the upgraded heavy-duty bearing. And I'll show you how much bigger this is compared to the stock bearing. Quite a decent size difference, because I heard that this was kind of a common problem with the X-Maxx with these rear hubs blowing out real easily. So this is the stock bearing for the rear, and this is the aftermarket. This is the RPM. As you can see, they are considerably bigger. Not sure how well that's actually showing up, but I'll pull it out here real quick and I'll show you side by side. Get it popped out of here maybe. There we go. Alright, so there is the RPM upgraded one, and this is your stock one. So definitely a lot beefier. The bearings still feel really good, so hopefully they continue to hold up in the back. But I am going to change out the outer hub bearing on these things and put the Fast Eddie one in here now. So we'll pop that one out. Set Set that aside. Get the new one in there. Pop the RPM one back in the back. And now slide her all back together again. Easy as that. Things are definitely nice and easy to work on. I really like the way that these hubs are put together and the ease of being able to change out the bearings and you know, work on this thing. It's only takes minutes. It's nice. But I'm going to go ahead and finish the last two up, and I'll bring you guys back whenever we try to fit up this 26-tooth pinion on the Typhon 6S. We're going to try and see what kind of speeds we can get that thing to still. Alright guys, well, she's all finished up. Got the new bearings all around. I got the new Fast Eddie bearings and all the front wheel bearings, and on the outer rears. So hopefully these ones hold up a little longer, don't know. You know, I was looking at these bearings and the numbers on them, and they look exactly like the Fast Eddie bearings. They have the same numbers on them. Now this might be common knowledge that I'm just ignorant to, but does Traxxas use the Fast Eddie bearings in the car stock? I don't know. I hope not, because the front ones blew apart pretty fast, but I guess time will tell. Maybe somebody has an answer out there. Anyway, guys, so we got all the wheel bearings in this thing. Also, a little update on the body with the just the Flex Seal on it. So far, it's been holding up pretty decent. I do have a little bit of chipping along the edges. I put some gaffer's tape along the edges here to kind of help reinforce it, but as you can see there, it did start chipping away at the back, or at the edges, and in the back section from a couple landings, it did start cracking around the plastic latching assembly, but other than that, honestly, it's been holding up pretty decent. Also, I decided to throw one of these on there. Don't know if it was really a waste or not, if I can get the camera down in there, but I threw on one of these Hot Racing aluminum gear cover plates down there. Can't really see it, but anyway, I threw one of those on there. Just kind of looked neat. Matched some of the other blue pieces I'm starting to add to this thing. But the X-Maxx is coming along pretty good. And you guys seen the last skate park video. She took a beating down there and held up very well. Was very happy, very impressed with it. Had a lot of fun with it. But all right, well, that's going to finish up for the X-Maxx. We're going to bust the Typhon out here, and I'll just show you guys if the pinion fits or not, and won't drag this out too much longer. Alright guys, well, I got the 26 tooth on here and it does fit. However, when you get both screws in the top motor mount plate, it makes the mesh on the spur gear a little bit too tight. So what I'm going to do, since I have another one of these plates, I'm kind of an experiment here, is I'm taking a drill bit the exact size of the slot here, and I'm going to basically pull it and hone it just a little bit of gap in there, so that I can create just enough space for this screw to be able to just go a little bit out to the end here, a little bit further out to the end, so that I can have the proper mesh on here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll bring you guys back and let you know if it worked out. Alright guys, well, as you can see, I cut it back just a tiny bit, about probably 2 millimeters, right around there, and both screws fit in there nicely, and the mesh feels perfect. I'm going to go ahead and get the screws in there, and I'll let you guys see the finished product. Alright guys, she is all fitted up and come out really nice. Mesh sounds great, nice and smooth. So we're going to give us a test out. Obviously, I'm not going to leave this gearing on the car. This is just kind of messing around here to kind of see what kind of speeds I can get with the Typhon here with the D-Boots Hoons on it. So we got the 26-tooth pinion on this thing now. And I turned the punch up to 8. I might turn it back down because obviously that's just kind of giving the initial power off the launch. It's not going to give it any more top speed or anything. It's just literally what it is, your punch setting. So anyway, we're going to give this thing another speed run here. Hopefully tomorrow it's going to be nice out. I have to leave again for work. Work schedule's just been insane lately, but we're going to try and take this thing out before I leave again and give this thing a run and see what kind of speeds we get with the new gearing on this. So that's going to do it for the video today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. We got the X-Maxx fixed up. We got the new gearing on the Typhon 6S, and we got the new shocks on the Big Rock. But that's going to do it, guys. So until next time, y'all, be safe, be careful out there. Peace out, everybody.